Emily Chase. I'm an artist living and working in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and I make things out of paper. And today I'm going to show you all how to make a little project that you can create out of things you probably already have in your house. We're going to be making paper flowers, so here's a couple of examples. Here's one that I made out of like origami paper and some cardstock. But this one over here I made out of magazine pieces, pages from a magazine rather. It has a really nice movement to it. So the tools that you're going to need for this project are paper, any kind of paper. You could use paper bags or printer paper or junk mail, whatever you've got around. You're going to need a pair of scissors. You're going to need some sort of drawing utensil like a marker or a pencil. And then you're also going to need some sort of connecting material, which you might have in your junk drawer. So I have over here some twist ties. I think these came off of some produce. I have some paper clips, and then I also have some little thumbtacks, and I'll show you how to use those as we go along in the project. Oh, I have a stapler too. But the first step that you're going to do is you're going to take your drawing utensil. I'm going to use this Sharpie. And then you're also going to take whatever kind of paper you want. So I'm using this paper I took out of my recycling bin. You can also use, whatever you have. So the first step is you're going to take your paper and you're going to draw on the back side of your paper if your paper has pattern on just one side. So that if you like one side better. I'm going to lay it down. I'm going to draw an X. This is for a 4-petal flower. You can make as many petals as you want by drawing a more complicated shape. So here's my X. And then I'm going to draw 4 petals sort of around the X. And you want to make sure that you're not drawing all the way into the middle because you need to leave a space in the center for connecting all of your petals together. So here's my shape that I've drawn, and I'm going to cut it out with the scissors. So you can make your flowers as complicated as you want. You can add as many layers as you want. I think 3 layers is a pretty good place to start, and you want to make your layers different sizes. The more layers you add, the more complicated your flower will look. And you don't need to worry too much about it being perfect because flowers in nature aren't perfect either. So, it's just going to look beautiful no matter how wobbly it is. This one is very wobbly. So, once you have your flower shape cut out, you're going to fold it in half a little bit. You're going to take your scissors and you're going to clip very carefully in that center space that you left. And that way you're going to create a little hole in the middle to thread your layers together. So I made some layers earlier so that we could assemble the flower as the next step. So you're going to take your layers. I have 3 layers here that are made out of different kinds of paper. Each one of them has that little hole in the middle that I mentioned. And I'm going to make this first one with a twist tie. So take my twist tie. I'm going to run it through this little slit that I made in my paper flower petal. And then I'm going to take my next one, which is I'm going to use this blue one. And I'm going to run through that little hole again. Oops, I'm losing it. And then you're going to put your last one on. Sorry, I know you can't see what I'm doing with my hands, but there we go. So now I have my 3 flower petal layers threaded on my twist tie. I'm going to take my top part of my twist tie here, and I'm going to sort of roll it up or bend it over to make a little ball on the top. And then I'm going to do exactly the same thing on the back of the flower, and this will keep your flower petals from coming apart. And then you can sort of rearrange them. They should be able to spin around. I think sort of offsetting them like this looks particularly nice. And then the last step of making your flower is to squish it, which I think is the most fun part. So you're just going to sort of make your hand into a C shape and then sort of squish your flower into it like a little cup to make it feel more 3-dimensional. You can also bend up your flower petals individually by sort of folding them in half a little bit and then folding them up. And all of this will help to make your flower more 3-dimensional. Different kinds of paper are going to sort of react to this really differently. Some flowers might be more soft and some might be more strong, but there you go. There's a little paper flower. So some other ways that you might be able to put these together. You could use a staple to hold them together in the middle, of course. You could use paperclip that you sort of unbend and then rebend. I also think it's a really cute idea that you could use it like a little push pin. If you have a tack or a push pin, you can take your flower layers like this, line them up. Here's a little quirk that I had. And then you take your push pin and you're just going to push it right through the middle into the cork. You could also do this on a cork board if you have a cork board. Piece of foam core into your wall. I don't know. But then you can make a little freestanding flower. I think it's cute. So those are some kinds of flowers that you can make. Thank you so much for joining me today. I know it's kind of a crazy time in the world, but hopefully we can all come together to make something in this time that we have. I'm sending you all hope, and I hope everybody is healthy and that you have what you need, and that you get to make some fun stuff with the stuff that you have. So take care of yourselves. Bye.